Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris from New York, Westchester County. It's 12/12/24. This is such bullshit, guys. I mean, I can't believe that this has become a problem now. There's a helicopter right now, okay? Now, remember that word and remember that airship, helicopter, okay? Because it's going to pertain to something that I'm about to speak to you about. Anyway, for the last couple of weeks now, we've had a problem. Yes, we've had drones flying all over the place that are the size of fucking buses. Okay? Some are the size of cars, some are the size of fucking buses. There is no amateur person who can get their hands on anything like this. This is militarized. Okay? I don't know if it's our military or if it's a military from a different country. I don't care. I could give a shit. Chances are it's probably us, but it might not be. Okay? There's some speculations about whether or not there's a mothership. They've been using this for a long time now, the last couple of weeks. A mothership. Iranian mothership out there that's blasting these things off. Now, I don't know much. I don't own a drone. Well, I had one, but I broke it. It was a small little freaking thing. I mean, the thing was a piece of garbage. I did have a camera on it, though. It was pretty cool while I had it, and I think I used it for about 3 hours, and that was the end of that toy. I can get propellers for it and fix it, but who cares? Anyway, my point is I don't know much about drones or how they're powered, but these things are hovering for hours, or I don't know, just 45 minutes, a half an hour above sensitive areas. Okay. Now, politicians are good at doing a couple of things. They really have mastered this this way of working as a career politician. They have some excellent things that they do. One thing is they can take money from you. Okay, they're very good at that. Excellent. I mean, that's all they do. They take money away from you. And they also want to make money themselves. So they're very good at that too, because apparently their salary for most of them are only about $100,000 a year, but yet they own $15 million mansions and other places around that are millions of dollars too. So they're very good at doing that. And they're also very good at getting back into office after being there for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. How long has Pelosi been there? Well, that fossil. How long has she been in there? 50 fucking years. 50 years. Maybe even longer. I don't know. But they're useless when it comes down to helping the public. Useless. Useless. That's what politicians are fucking useless. Study that word. So we got all these drones flying around, okay? Spotted all over the place. Hundreds of sightings all over the place. And again, they like to call the mothership. You see, they're trying to, they want us so bad, and I wish they would. They want to start an alien invasion. This is the only way they can start an alien invasion. By putting something up in the sky. That's it. They can't do it any other way. But anyway, I digress. Let me get back to the subject. How to take a drone down? Well, let's see. They could be gas powered. It's the only way I could possibly think that these things could stay up there for 45 minutes. I didn't realize that they were drones. Well, I guess the military, has all of this stuff. You realize if I was to even buy a drone that's half the size of this car, I would have to get licensed. I would have to go out and sign some paperwork. There's a waiting period, I believe. We can't get our hands on any of these things. Okay, it's obvious it's militarized. And it's probably ours because we've given other countries all of our weapons. Oh, yeah. Do you remember leaving $800 billion or $800 million worth of weapons out at the beginning of the Biden administration? Do you remember that? You might have forgotten it. I know. You probably forgot about COVID, too. Being locked up. Not being allowed out. Not being allowed to go to a restaurant. Not being allowed to go to a funeral. Do you remember that? don't forget these days, okay? Because the population has the mind of a fucking chipmunk, and they forget about everything, and they don't realize these politicians are nothing but idiots, tokens. That's all they are. So, bringing down a drone. We have the helicopters all over the place here. Yeah, one passes by my building at 6 a.m. every fucking morning. Every fucking morning, he's so low, the goddamn... Sorry, I apologize. The fucking windows shake, for crying out loud, okay? That's how low the plane is, the helicopters. Why can't you just take a helicopter? It's obvious these things only come out during dusk. You know, they can't come out in the morning. They can't be seen during the daytime. They come out at dusk, right when it's about to get dark. Get everybody out there, and let's throw a net over them. These are just little propellers. It's like a helicopter flies too close to one of those freaking telephone antennas. It's done. Okay, it's the same premise. Throw a fucking net over it. Let the thing fall. Take a fucking shotgun and blow the fucking thing out of the air. I mean, for crying out loud. I can't believe that the government cannot figure out how to bring one of these down, study it, find out where the fuck it's coming from, and taking a look at it, taking it apart. Where is the transmission being transmitted? Where is that? Where is the source? Okay, it makes sense when they say this mothership, which is really just like a battleship, because that's the only way you're gonna get over from Iran or whatever, the Middle East or whatever the fuck they're coming from, to get over here and just sit in the middle of the of the Atlantic Ocean and just launch these things off. It has to be localized, okay? Although I guess the drones can be powered from any state or wherever the hell you are, but I'm not really sure how that technology works, and I really can give a fuck. All I'm saying is that we are so that the government, the politicians are so stupid they can't figure out how to bring one of these down. See, now there's also a couple of other things that I've come up with. Is this a test? Okay, is this a test to see exactly what we will do? Even though we're being let down from the politicians, obviously, they're useless. They always have been. They can't even fix a motherfucking pothole that's in your city. It takes them 6 months, to fix it. Unless if somebody breaks an axle or somebody gets hurt. Oh, yeah, that'll be fixed. And they'll finally put that red light there if somebody gets killed. Useless. That's all they are. All the money disappears that they get for fixing streets, fixing the homeless situation. It never goes to where it should be going. No, it doesn't. It goes right into the old pocket. That's right, another Porsche for that politician. Oh, let's get that ocean house. Oh, yes, don't worry. We just made $1 billion disappear. Isn't that great, guys? It's so corrupt, it's unfucking believable. So, I can think of a half a dozen things right off the top of my head of how to bring one of these down, okay? And obviously, the test, I'm not sure. I mean, they could be testing us. They want to see how the population reacts to something like this because it's such a simple, delicate thing to bring down. This is not a chopper, okay? It's a little, well, not little, but they're big, but it's this plastic propeller thing that's flying around. It's probably about 100 feet up because it's got to be below the... well, it's got to be below the helicopters because it'll get in the way of the air traffic over there. But wherever the air traffic controller starts to detect things flying, it's got to be at least 100 feet underneath it or 200 feet. My guess is maybe they're probably like 200 feet up. They've got to scale these apartment buildings if they come here to my city. But they're mainly in New Jersey. I don't know why they're picking on New Jersey. The hell are they picking on Jersey for, man? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea why they're picking on Jersey and Staten Island. I got some buddies out in Staten Island. What the fuck? Come on, get your shotgun. Blow one of these things out of the air. I mean, what's going to happen? Oh, that's right. We have restrictions. I forgot about that. We made some restrictions. We can't get in the way of bringing one of these down because there's an FAA law. And so we've got our hands tied behind our back. So let's see how the population reacts to this, okay? Let's see if we start blowing these things out of the air and just taking it in our own hands, considering we've been let down from the politicians because they're nothing but useless piece of shits, okay? And that's all they are. They've always been. I never really cared for politicians, you know. I've been to parties with politicians, and big deal. Big deal. They're multimillionaires. They got there corruptly. They have absolutely no talent. They've got no skills. If they say they're doctors or lawyers, yeah, they might have that profession for like 3 months, and then that was it. They became a politician, so they have no experience to do anything. They do have one experience that I think Kamala might be looking into, and that would be maybe becoming a balloon girl. Or perhaps maybe even working for McDonald's or something like that. But she's made millions. These people never have to work a day of their lives. So, and they're never going to go to jail. They'll never, ever get convicted of dick. Okay? They never will. It's unbelievable. It really is. So, if you sight any drones, I don't know anybody who's sighted any of these drones or how big they are. I have no idea. I've heard stories that they're the size of buses and the size of cars, and that's huge. An amateur drone is not not larger than a bag. So, I mean, these things cost millions of dollars, and they've got cameras on them, and the politicians don't care. They don't look at it as a threat, that we have no control right now of our skies, and anything could be coming out of those skies and peering into any sensitive area and recording everything. They don't care. They just had a meeting that was like amateur hour at the zoo, for crying out loud. Okay, it was so sad. I mean, listening to this shit blows my mind that nobody cares. They just don't care. They don't care that they've been lied to all of their fucking lives. All of it. They don't even know what the fuck they live on, for crying out loud. They think they're moving, they're spinning, they're traveling in space, that space exists, that we're going to the moon one day, we're going to Mars. We're not going anywhere. All right? Our observations are unbelievably correct and provable. And they always will be. There's no curvature. Nobody can show any curvature at all. Nobody can prove to me that star is 1 trillion miles away, that sun is 93 million miles away. They never can. They never will. They come up with stories like sticks, okay, with shadows. That signifies a sun that's 93 million. No, it doesn't. That shows me that thing is local, okay? But it could be whatever you want it to be. I don't care. It doesn't make a difference. I could care less. Because if you want to think that you live on this spinning wet ball and this dreamland, it's fine. But it's not true. And we've proven it so many fucking times, and they still come out with these stupid mathematical computations that just, they don't even understand them. It's funny. It really is. I never thought that. Well, I knew it was going to take some time. There are a lot of people out there that are NPCs. They'll never, ever, ever, ever understand what they live on, and they don't care. They're too involved with life, and they're too involved. They're on this mission. I mean, look at them sometimes. Sometimes they walk around in circles. They do. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I've seen it at the supermarket, man. I've seen a couple of them just like they're shopping, and then they'll look at something, and then they'll go over there, and then they go around in a circle, and then they go there, and then finally find what they're looking. I just, if I can't find anything in the supermarket, I'm gonna ask somebody who works there. Where the fuck is the baking powder? Or something, whatever. They're fun, and even when they're walking around, they just clueless. But anyway, look, God made this. He, she, or whoever it may be, created all of this for you. You chose to be here. We're all here. We're trying to wake people up. And that's it. That is it. I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos, and let me be a part of your life.